Chukma, Chickasaw. My name is Dustin Mater, and I am Chickasaw. Today we are at Vanderbilt Law School with the unveiling of the 12 portraits of the Chickasaw and Cherokee students that were the first non-white students to come here. It started in 1885 and continued to about 1901. When Dan had approached me on making these pieces, we had talked about utilizing topography maps because I did a portrait of a Choctaw student using basically a Tishomingo map. I was commissioned to do these 12 portraits and was given like a really small individual photograph of each of these students, and it was like I had to do a lot of cleaning up. Vanderbilt itself is unique in that we're only 15 miles away from where the Treaty of Hopewell was signed. This was like shared hunting grounds with the Chickasaws, Cherokees, with the Creeks even. It's special to come to a place where our ancestors did to nourish their families, and these men came to these lands and they nourished their families with the wisdom they gained on these very lands. And they returned back to Indian territory and did great works in which they're emblemizing in these pieces. All of them are alcohol and acrylic-based markers and paint pens. And I used the copper leafing that is used on stained glass for some of the edge work. For the Chickasaw students, I used the maps of Tishomingo from 1898. And for the Cherokee students, I used maps of Tahlequah. I took about 12 maps to kind of get all of these pictures together. And out of those 12 maps, only like 6 of them were usable. Well, that's what you get when you get like maps that are over 100 years old. Some are not so good. And then also, for the Chickasaw students, I've put sun circles, or the hashi, on each of them to denote the Ababanili living within. And for the Cherokee students, I used Sequoia's beautiful soliloquy of the word Cherokee in their own native language. The background behind these men is I call it sky pattern. This is a term that Joanna Blackburn and Brent Greenwood and myself have kind of cultivated. In the book that a lot of Southeastern artists have called Hero Hawk and Open Hand, there is a passage in there talking about that the finest artisans who did this spaghetti pattern came from Memphis. Well, Memphis used to be called the Chickasaw Bluffs and was one of the hearts of the Chickasaw Empire in antiquity. And so we can say with pretty good certainty that this was a design aesthetic that the Chickasaws were renowned for. And this is a design flourish that I have loved to incorporate in my artwork for the last decade, if not a little bit longer than that. It's part of the greater Chickasaw Renaissance and fragment of the greater Muskogean Renaissance that's going on throughout the Southeast, where you see it just blooming in so many different ways. You know, the well that we drink from is wide and vast, but there's room for all of us, and you can see it in each of these pieces.